time it is! Welcome to the C Squared Hour. I am Squared. He is C. C, he would be the reason shoes and shirts are required every time you go into a store.
And Squared is the reason we got uninvited to our class reunion.
Also true. So I wanted to start off by saying, we did find...
Fuck that, really, though. If they weren't going to have us, they weren't going to have us. I mean, they didn't have to make a big thing about it. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just... I get it. I've met me. I get it.
No, it was that time. I'm pretty sure it wasn't just it was that time.
Yeah. So, just wanted to once again give Ryan Forney a shout out. We were able to find Kokanee Gold. What were we? 4 stops? As you almost spill.
We had a backup in plan if the placement said, but yeah, it was at least 4.
Yeah. So. Ended up.
I checked a couple on my own, and I know Square did too.
Yeah, I checked out a couple.
We fucking found it though.
We did.
Told you we would.
Yeah. So what do we? Yeah. So
drinking Kokanee Gold.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
It's good. I don't know. Let's talk about this Kokanee Gold.
I'm a fan. I definitely prefer the other Kokanee over it.
See, I was just about to say it's better than American Kokanee. See, Kokanee Gold is what in Canada, that's what Kokanee tastes like.
Yeah.
This is Canadian Kokanee, and the shit that they send down here is to try to mimic Bud Light. So I don't drink Kokanee. It tastes like shit. I mean, Kokanee Gold tastes like a good beer.
Yeah, Kokanee's kind of my, I'm about to go play a hockey game, or I'm going golfing, so I want to get fucked up, but I still need my stomach about me. So I enjoy that. It's
God, we're getting old. Mm-hmm. It's not fucking soft.
Yeah. So, and again, want to shout out Ryan Forney, of course. If you have any recommendations of beer, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram.
That goes to anyone, not just Skin.
Yeah,
Anyone.
I mean, Forney does have a lot of good advice, but hit us up Twitter, Instagram. We will definitely take it into account. We are in the Northwest, and like I've said before, I do enjoy the craft beer. I just like the lighter side of it, so pale ale or a lighter IPA. Those are kind of my jams. But with a lot of craft breweries around here, I think it's not a bad idea to give us something to try.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Well, I know you wanted to start off with a bit of endorsement. Well, and I would like to. I agree with the endorsement. So. I mean,
I liked it. Let me take this away. First of all, you may have noticed we start every podcast with a little time it is. This isn't coincidental. This comes from an epic night of partying.
Well, it is coincidental, but it doesn't come from nowhere.
Right. I have to say this is my brother, in fact, but we go to a lesbian bachelorette party that we happen to be invited to with my brother and his wife. The theme, apparently there was a costume theme to this party. It was the 80s. My brother showed up dressed like a member of Run DMC, but with a clock around his neck. Flavor Flav. Mm-hmm. And kept all night long grabbing this chain clock around his neck and saying, "Time it is!"
Just completely shit-faced, just having a blast.
Right. I mean, it was a great night. Everybody had fun. Lots of lesbians got laid. Perfect kind of night for anybody.
But then again, not to be too much of a stereotype, but it's not horribly hard for a lesbian to get laid, Oh, it's actually, you know what?
Well, you know what they say comes what lesbians bring on a third date.
U-Haul, yeah.
Of course.
I actually think it's I think gay guys have an easier time getting laid. To be honest, yeah.
Well, here's
if
when you take the pussy out of it, like guys like to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take women out of it, of course people fuck a lot.
Right. So so that's kind of where that comes from.
So our endorsement this week is Public Enemy in honor of Flavor Flav.
And we're not, and we understand that this isn't going out on too much of a limb. Like, this isn't going to be a horribly controversial.
1989!
It's no Matchbox 20. We're not too controversial with this endorsement. But, it was a great night. We,
Hey, first of all, how would I have not known 911 is a joke? Had I not grown up listening to Public Enemy?
That's true.
Just saying.
That's true.
They were there for us when we needed education as children.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, Public Enemy. Thank you for not only a fantastic night and just great life lessons.
10-4.
So we were. I was out shopping the other day, and I still think panhandlers need to step their game up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They're hanging out around Walmarts always, but is that really going to be your best shot?
Yeah, if your end game is to put money in your pocket, are you really wanting to stand outside of a fucking Walmart?
Right. A Target is a Target's a better option. From my opinion, unless you start looking at it, you have more options for a cash customer at Walmart rather than, too much card at Target nowadays.
I kind of wonder about, like, the public library. That's the real NPR crowd. Where do they size up on this?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I have to look into that.
Yeah, because, again, the library, you also run into the having no cash or no money.
The other homeless.
Right. You're kind of going against, you're competing with your own clientele or something like that. I don't know.
That's probably right, actually.
I was, and when I went off on this rant to you the other day, you were actually shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And you went off on another one. What was it? You saw, was it the lines in the store or the shopping cart before the lines in the store? Or?
First, let me read a prepared statement, if that's okay for everybody. This is something I've spent a long time. I've spent years lamenting over the same problem. So
before we start, I do want to say that that this opinion does fully represent the C Squared's opinion. So if you get offended by it, you can absolutely take it out on the show rather than individuals.
The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task, and one which we all recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart is objective. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own fucking heart. You must return the shopping cart because it is the right thing to do, because it is correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal, an absolute savage who can only be made to do what is right by threatening them with a law and force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is indeed a good member or a bad member of our society.
Yeah. So, was that your prepared statement, or is that just something you came across?
A little of both.
Okay, fair enough.
I amended somebody else's. I'd come across something that summed up a little of my beliefs, and I amended it.
Fair enough. And yeah, I 100% agree with that. I don't think I've ever not put a shopping cart back.
Right.
Even if I was in no condition to spend any more time in public than I already.
I'm going to say this. I say this all the time. People say, what are you politically? Where do you lie? I say this all the time. I'm a theoretical anarchist. And this is why I say theoretical, because theoretically, I believe we should be heading toward a place in our society where we no longer need governments and religions to dictate terms to us.
He's a dick.
However, I say theoretical because I see we're not there. I know it's going to take some fucking time. It's not going to happen overnight, and so this is why I say theoretical.
Right, and I get that, but this goes back to the dead horse I could beat, and if you're going to be it kind of goes to the shopping cart thing. If you want to be a theoretical,
we should be able to govern ourselves. People should be able to handle going to the Walmart, the ghetto, and get their fucking groceries and leave a cart in a goddamn cart corral. It's not that fucking hard.
Right. They put one in every goddamn aisle, for fuck's sakes.
But we're not there yet. Why we're not there yet, there's a lot of reasons. Now, all this backlash on public shaming that's going on right now, that's a fucking problem. Bullying exists for a reason. If you suck at shit, people fucking tell you. That's how people get better at it. That's how you know that you're a fucking
scientists.
embarrassment.
That's how you get scientists.
Right!
They tell you, get off the football field. Okay.
You think Einstein was sitting around getting his dick sucked every day because he was so fucking good at
once he got famous, he was. Once he got famous, he was.
That was way later in life. That was after everybody told him he was a fuck up.
Yeah, after we got let him get away with being a war criminal, allegedly. That's a whole other topic for another day.
I can't even believe you just fucking. That's a whole nother goddamn topic. Okay, wait. Einstein was absolutely against the bomb.
He just invented it.
He didn't exactly invent it.
It's like Magic Johnson being.
They took his research
being pro-condom.
And they ran with it, and then they said, "Hey, we're gonna do this. Do you want to have a say in it?" So he said, "I'm gonna pen a letter to the U.S. government to try to at least express restraint for the bomb." And I think his opinions were that it should not go to Russia first. He said if somebody's going to have it, it should indeed be the United States, not the Russians.
Well, considering he invented the gas they used in the gas chambers that
wasn't Einstein.
I'm saying it is.
In WW2?
Yeah, no, I'm you could look it up and find the real name, but I'm saying it was Einstein.
No,
and we don't say it was Einstein. We say it was someone else because we brought him over to help with the bomb. No, this is a conspiracy. This is my personal opinion.
Well, you gotta give me some names. Then I know the fucking guy you're talking to. What was his name?
I don't give a shit. It was Einstein who invented it.
I know who you're talking about. The guy that invented mustard gas that throughout World War I.
Yeah, it was Einstein. I'm sticking to it.
Einstein was young during World War I.
Exactly. That's how smart he was.
He was still talking about relativity and crazy shit.
Yeah, that's how smart he was.
How can anybody argue with that? That's the most irrational shit I've ever heard in my life.
The great thing is, you can't prove me wrong. If you can't prove me wrong, I'm right.
I can.
No, you're going to look up facts from you're going to look up what the government tells you, what the news source,
what the man told us.
Right. If you're going to take that for your word, we're just we're having the wrong conversation. Okay, I know in my heart of hearts, Einstein did not want to gas Jews.
He was a fucking Jew. Of course,
I thought he was just Austrian. I didn't think he was.
No, Einstein was definitely a Jew.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He didn't associate. He was certainly not Hasidic. He wasn't a practicing. I mean, he was an atheist.
The Ari Gold of Judaism, if you will.
Yeah, something like that.
No, but back to theoretical anarchy.
Yeah, let's.
I 100% get what you're. I fancy myself as a staunch libertarian, and I think even though that word,
I would support you being a staunch libertarian.
Even though that word's been kind of bastardized in the last few years.
Definitely.
I think anyone
libertarians have done the most to bastardize it out of anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think I've kind of always been that way, and I think you can agree.
Yeah. I've known you a lot of years. You hold firm.
Right. And the reason theoretical anarchy doesn't work is because of the people who leave the shopping carts out. I mean, that is just a perfect metaphor for what our country is.
Now, let me throw this out. I'm going to assume the people that leave the carts out are overweight, wearing masks with 4 extra kids running around their feet. And I'm going to say that that's my point. Maybe this virus came about for a reason.
You know, that was 100% my point on the first episode. I just stumbled through it and sounded very racist and ageist and bigoted when I said it. But yeah,
you did. And all I'm saying is I'm concerned about the welfare of mankind. So
I am too, and I feel that one of the first things that needs to happen.
When I said that, I sound like an asshole. When you said it, you sounded right.
That's what I mean, you know. Well, I definitely came across. You know, I definitely. Well, we got way too wasted on that first one. Hence the title, stumbling out of the gates.
Yeah, we were pretty hammered.
I truly think there are too many people in this world.
Yeah.
And the reason we can't,
well, our planet hasn't sustained this much human population ever.
Well, but I mean, if you look at depending what you believe, if you look at the world, how old it is, we haven't had human population that long.
Wait, what you believe?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What you believe. There is what is, and then there's fucking nonsense.
Okay, well, I mean, people say that about Earth theories, so...
Okay, well, now, we can have fun with conspiracies, and then there's just fucking science. Like, I'm all about having a fun conspiracy, but some science does make sense, right? Are we going to split hairs here? What science are we going to split hairs on? You know?
No, I mean, the Earth is obviously flat. You know, they call it sea level, not sea curve, you know? I mean, just the name right there. There it is.
Okay, we're going to talk about flat Earth.
No,
No, let's fucking have it out. I mean, I know
do we want to go back to the kind of our theory on life based on shopping carts beforehand?
I think we might.
Because basically what it comes down to, it goes back to my theory. If you let society govern itself, it's like you look at what's going on with the virus right now. You go to the grocery store, before they put the arrows down, it was a lot less. The arrows have made it worse.
I agree. Totally, 100%.
I mean, people were respectful before the arrows when you knew you just had to.
Yeah, I mean, we know how to congregate in front of a register, and
people who didn't go with it, you could definitely tell were. You could definitely tell who they were, and you definitely could tell they didn't belong in polite society.
And I think and it's getting worse, but we have to be able to shame people.
Yeah.
We used to do it more, and I know there's been a big backlash right now about all different types of shaming, but it's really important that as a society, we look at the people that we don't like and don't fit in with the rest of us, and we tell them that they're fuck-ups.
Right.
So that they know, so that they get on board with what's right.
And yeah, if you look at the stores with the lines, in the aisles, making it, more of a clusterfuck, it goes back to the shopping cart thing. The majority of the people, can live in a society and put them back, but there's those few that can't, and that's why we have to have laws because of them. Now, if you somehow, some way, found a way to move those people out of society.
I'm not saying that we have trains running to Cleveland right now or anything.
Looks like you took the slow train to Pittsburgh. I'm just saying.
We went there again, didn't we? We went there again.
I think I did it a little more respectfully this time.
You did. In all, 100% better than last time.
No, I'm just saying.
The Holocaust. Certainly sounds better this time.
I'm just saying, there should be, if you want to be, a theoretical anarchist, it's all well and good, but you have to figure out what to do with the people who leave the carts out.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to think on that and get back to you. I don't think right now is the time for me to unveil my grand finale plans for the undesirables.
Right.
See, this is where Hitler got it wrong. He made his undesirables the wrong people. That's the only place he fucked up is he chose the wrong people.
Right. No,
I'm going to say this right. Jews, they're funny, good with money. Why would you choose them to be the people you did off with? Why don't you round up the motherfuckers that don't put their shopping carts back?
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he went into the,
he just went about it the wrong way.
He went into the Warsaw ghettos, which is kind of, how do I say this without sounding bad? I don't mind trying to clean up the ghettos.
What?
I'm saying a lot of tax money needs to be spent there and stuff like that.
Okay, real quick. I want to distance myself from this podcast. I think it's gone a little far.
Anyway, so the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah, fucking A. I talk to a lot of people these days that talk about that flat Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a
they want flat Earth, man.
No, they don't. Sir, could you slow down? Dangle. But no, I mean, I'm 100% a flat earther, and if you,
okay, you're like 60% a flat earther.
No, 100%. I just
100%.
Oh no, I guess no. I'll say I'm an 80%er in the flat Earth community.
Okay,
which is, I'd say, at most 20% actually believe the Earth is flat. 80% just found a group of friends, and their parties look fun.
Have you gotten laid from it yet? Because that's what I'm. It seems like the tail scene over there looks pretty good.
I haven't gotten too into the community as of yet. I haven't gone to a lot of meetups. But
you follow what I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah.
There are some hot chicks over there, and I think they'll fuck just about anybody that says they agree with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would have no problem with enjoying the company of a female who happened to believe the Earth was flat. But no, I just want another social group. That's all it is. I mean, the Elks is going downhill. You don't have those sort of fraternities anymore. I think
the Elks are going downhill.
I think you got to find something. I think you got to find. And flat Earth is there. Like I said, no one believes it. I mean,
yeah,
it just.
I'm with you there. I think that's pretty evident. Hey, take your shopping carts back, though.
Amen, brother. Or don't, and just show what kind of low life you are.
You better fucking hope I don't get my chance.
So I wanted to sound off on a couple things. I hope you don't mind.
I'm ready.
I got a little wound up this week. Bone dry sober, I got wound up. So you know how that goes with me. So
yeah, it takes a lot to get you worked up sober. First, I will say.
First, I want to say, as far as getting this podcast on all streaming services, it's been a relatively smooth. We're basically everywhere you can get podcasts, minus iHeartRadio because you have to be out for 2 months before they do that, which is fine. You don't.
Sure.
However, SoundCloud is a bitch. So if you don't know how this works, is you pay for a hosting site to host your podcast. Basically, they supply the website for the link.
Sure.
And then you give the link to all the podcast sites and just upload it that way. For one of the middle of the road plans, we're paying $20 a month, which is not bad. It's for what they do, and I find it well worth it. But SoundCloud, to upload any sort of length of podcast, you have to pay another $20 a month. So I can get 2.5 podcasts up on SoundCloud before they run out of room, and they're trying to get more money out of it.
What the fuck?
Well,
What the fuck?
They're trying to become their own hosting site. They're trying to, jump down that road too.
Are they good enough to?
No.
Do they supply the podcastee enough to make it worth that?
They give
are
the
they
same
good enough
length.
for the listener to supply that?
I use SoundCloud to listen to some radio shows and stuff like that, and it's fine. It's nothing special, but it doesn't seem to. As far as hosting it, the site we use for the $20 gives you stats, gives you all sorts of shit like that, gives you options to.
I like those stats.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like knowing there's like fucking 20 listeners out there right now that I don't know. I fucking love it. I don't know who the fuck they are.
Right, and we're sports guys, so of course we love stats. So, and I think SoundCloud tries to do the same thing, but I don't know. I'm not paying another $20 a month to put this up on one more site. That fucking even music people don't like using it, and that's what they're based for. So, I don't know. I know you haven't seen a lot of that, but I'm not sure if you see where I'm coming from.
If you're hearing this on SoundCloud,
you're not. That's the point. You're not. So no one at SoundCloud is gonna fucking hear it.
hey, fuck those guys.
Let me grab another drink here before I start going off here.
Yeah, dude, why don't you? While you're opening your beer, let me take this minute while I have the mic.
Like we're handing it back and forth. Like I just fucking steal it from you.
Yeah. Like, okay, you've seen 8 Mile, right? I felt like it was my moment. Jerk off. I just wanted to take a little bit. Thank the listeners out there. The real fucking listeners.
I thought I expected a lot more. You went really deep.
Can
with
we
your
cut
eyes
that
there.
out? I had it.
Yeah, don't be bad.
We don't have to. Fuck. I don't know. You listen to it. If it sounds like shit, we'll cut it out. Maybe it's good. Maybe it plays well.
No, the listeners, definitely need to.
Well, here's what fucking. If these people that listen to it would fucking leave a comment on goddamn Twitter, Instagram once in a fucking while.
Apple.
We want to know. Do we suck? Do we suck? Like, I don't know. Is it?
Not much is going to change.
Did fucking ruin it? Is it? Am I too in love with myself?
Yes.
Fucking Squared think he's a lot funnier than he really is. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Nothing's gonna change. We both.
Oh, nothing's gonna change.
No, we both love.
You say all you want. Nothing's gonna fucking change.
But we'd just like to hear it. We both because we're both. We're always the most intelligent and funniest people in the room, and there's no argument of that. So
I think there was one time we were with. Nope. There wasn't.
Minus when we went and saw Stormy Daniels do stand up. She was hilarious.
Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Well, we can. That was just
the guy that opened for her. Do you remember his name?
He's a local Spokane guy.
He opened for Stormy Daniels. He was pretty good.
Yeah. No, he's open for a lot of the. I go to comedy shows all the time.
Yeah, he's good. He's
done a lot of stuff.
I laughed. The audience laughed. He was good. Stormy was not so fucking good.
No.
You know what though? After the show,
it was just it was awkward the whole time.
We were hanging out, having drinks, and I meet this chick. At first, I'm just talking to her because she's talking to me, as these things go.
Right, because those baby blues.
Oh, fuck, what can I say?
and your new haircut,
She's an ACLU lawyer, right? So I'm fuck, man. This broad's educated. It turns out she was actually working for Stormy Daniel. But she's an ACLU lawyer, and she wanted to know if I knew of anything locally that was corrupt, and I was trying to...
Boy, howdy.
I don't know, it was fun. Stormy Daniels was cool. I really wanted to fuck that lesbian. It turned out she was lesbian. She works
for the ACLU.
Yeah, it kind of let me all down. But.
Right, and I mean, yeah, know of anything corrupt? I don't know. We've had the most corrupt mayor system in the last 15 years.
Well, and it's like, really, like, you could go to any police department in the United States, any district attorney's office in the United States, and I promise you they're locking up people that shouldn't be locked up.
Right.
White or black. This isn't a racial thing. White guys get locked up when they shouldn't.
Well, even
too. It's not just black.
President Obama, said it's not a racial thing. It's not racist. Our system isn't racist. It's prejudice. Where it doesn't matter who you are. If the more money you have, the less jail time you're going to do. I mean, it's just how it goes. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, in a lot of larger metro areas where these numbers are looked at, the lower income population happens to be of the minority persuasion, I guess. I don't know if that's the word, but
nice wording. No, I'm with it. I like it. Let me ask you. I'm curious. All the shit going down these days, politically, and all the shit we're seeing in the media. As a comedy fan, I know you love Trump, but
right. No, it's just I don't expect the president to do a whole lot for, me personally or, my local group, But I just feel...
Wanted to give you a slight ovation there because everybody seems so wrapped up in that president fixing their life.
Right. I mean, what the fuck did Obama do? Did he ever call you? I mean, but...
Keep waiting for my OJ prize. None! That was Chris Rock, if you don't know.
Yeah, we sorry, I had to take a drink there. We look at we expect the president to do much more than it actually does. I'm more of a state right, local right guy, just for the simple fact that
that the fact that the entire upper North American continent is one country sounds like a fucking ridiculous idea.
And
no, I'm not saying that slavery is right, but I think that the Confederate States had it right in splitting the Union. Now, I'm not saying I'm standing with slavery, but I do
farmers' rights.
I do think that these United States should be about 5 different countries. I have no desire whatsoever to have people in Florida or Texas or New York or Nebraska having any say in what my federal government has to fucking do with me. And this is why I think we need to be divided regionally and done with these 50 United States. It needs to be about, 6 or 7 over here. We could have our own country. And
but, it's the same thing where... we should treat it like, it's supposed to set up like the state is a franchise, You have the, you have the Yum brand, and then below it you have Taco Bell, you have KFC.
We tried that and it didn't work. The federal government has served too much power.
We need to let it,
The people are fucking
Did you know
stupid.
Yum brand
We can't leave these people in charge of that kind of fucking control.
Have you ever heard of Yum brands? It's KFC, it's Taco Bell, it's all those things. You just don't know about it because that's the we shouldn't know who the United States is. We should know that, hey, we're living in Taco Bell or, And I don't know if that works, but I just remember the first time I heard of Young Brands was when they sponsored the Kentucky Derby. I don't know how well my analogy works.
I don't know how well it works either.
Fair enough. We've kind of got off track. The Obama years.
Yeah, what the fuck were we talking about?
Yeah, you were asking how I felt. Look back on the Obama years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. Only for the simple fact that it seemed as that a gentleman who happened to be a different shade than every president beforehand should have done more for kind of a unity, if you will, than kind of happened. If that makes any sort of sense. Just kind of it seemed like we went the other way, and
well, I know
he wasn't the cause of it. He wasn't the cause of it, of course.
Well,
but he just kind of, I think he just kind of sat back, put his feet up, and
blacks and Latinos still got locked up in higher percentages than they did during the Bush years. They got longer sentences than they did during the Bush years.
But that's been a progressive thing, throughout. It has nothing to do with the Bush. I mean, nothing was dialed back.
Exactly, but that's what's important to tell the people out there is that who you vote for doesn't really fucking matter.
Right.
Obviously, because the powers that be are already on the way to do what they're going to do. Who you voted for didn't really fucking matter.
Right. I 100% agree. Now, do you think it was more? I just felt like he sat back and kind of just let things happen, rather than kind of jump in front of it. I feel like the country didn't get more separated; they got more willing to speak about how separate they are, if that makes sense.
Maybe. I also think he knew he was in a spot that I've never seen a president that was. Well, I have, but he was among the top in the ability to appease everybody. And he made sure that he was the black president to black people, but to white people, he was that first black guy we elected, but he was never really the black president.
But I mean, the one thing I liked about the majority of the country didn't come out and just say we don't like him because he's black. They tried to find different reasons, like he's Muslim, yeah, that's it, or oh no, he's a community organizer, or he wasn't born in America. They just try to say that rather than just come out and say, I didn't want a black president, so I didn't vote for him. which I felt was nice. I felt that showed real growth. I mean, 30 years ago, people would just be N-bombing him all the way up and down the road, and really, you really had to search for those people doing that. They decided to take the racism and try to be a little more discreet with it. I thought that showed good for our country. I mean, am I the only one?
Go America. No, I'm sorry. I had a text message and I was busy looking at other things, so whatever you said sounds great.
You're just saying that real plausible deniability. That could be found offensive by some people, so if I pretend like I didn't hear it. No, I just yeah, but I don't know. I just I don't know, that's kind of my view on it. I don't know what to. And everyone jumps down this Rachel Dolezal, her throat and everything.
Oh, I jumped down her throat.
I think if we ever get her on the show, I think we gotta try. I mean, she's in our hometown.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that hard.
Mm-mm. I mean, it would be if got her on. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Banging chicks and stuff. Dibs, by the way.
Oh, fuck that. Dude, okay, wait a minute. I got it. You can't call dibs until we're in conversation. Like when we get the first call that she might be on the show. Once we make contact, then we can start calling dibs. You can't fucking call dibs right now.
Yes, you can.
That's theoretical. Like, hey, if I ever meet Miley Cyrus, dibs. That's fucking fine. Ridiculous.
That's fine. I'll respect that. But I mean, if that comes up in conversation, I would. This just came up in the normal course of conversation. You can't just go down the maximum top 50 list and check them off. But no, if it comes up in a real conversation, then yes, we can have a real talk about it.
All right, that's actually a pretty reasonable argument if it comes up in real conversation.
Mm-hmm. And reason will prevail.
Fuck, he got Rachel Dolezal. I don't know if he could handle Rachel Dolezal. I don't think you could handle all that.
I'm not sure anyone can, really.
According to the local courts and her issue with the welfare fraud, she can handle herself but
that was something. I don't know. I watched her documentary, and this is for a different time, but I watched her documentary, and I felt a little more. There was a little more. You can see the personal side of kind of her whole thing a little more than just hey, she's a white chick who, decided to identify as black. There's a little more to that story, which I thought was interesting. I had a crush on her before the documentary, so, whatever. I'm not sure if...
No, you made it very clear. Those of us that knew you...
I'm her cup of tea or anything.
White or black, you always made it clear you wanted to hit that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
Anywho, back to, so, what do we say? Fuck SoundCloud. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, since...
Fuck SoundCloud.
That's what we go back. So since our last episode, I've been looking on it, and Stitcher, one of the podcast sites, the only thing above C Squared is a podcast called C Squared Sports.
Which, at first, might sound like maybe they're worthy of being higher than us. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about it, Squared.
Well, I don't mind if I do. Apparently, as I looked a little further into this, and granted, I didn't listen to any of it because, I wouldn't waste my time. You look at the cover, all it is a picture of Clint Eastwood with Tennessee written across the top of cowboy hat, all right? This podcast is dedicated to the University of Tennessee sports, apparently.
Okay.
The University of Tennessee sports.
Tell me what's relevant about the University of Tennessee.
My point exactly. I mean, they haven't been anything since, Peyton Manning. After Peyton Manning, you had T. Martin in football. Peyton Manning
was good.
Whoa, wait a while. I jumped out of the limb there. Thanks for the help there. But so first of all,
come on, I'm backing you up, dude.
Let's just go with the podcast itself. From what I can count, from now going back to 2018, I saw 12 shows. Just 12 shows, and we're looking at 24 months.
Yeah.
So a show every 2 months. Which I get. Obviously there's not that much to talk about on Tennessee sports. I get that. So if I had to try to find something to do, I could probably only do, regardless of how much I bullshitted, I could probably only average one every 2 months with Tennessee sports. So that's hard to blame for that. But
wait a minute, I'm gonna call bullshit. I think if our podcast was about Tennessee sports, we'd fill up a fucking hour every week, no problem.
Well, I think we would resign ourselves to the University of Tennessee, where you can go Vanderbilt, it's there. But no, I
think we could do it. But go on. I'm not trying to interrupt your shit.
We do have better work ethic. You're right, but
yeah, work ethic. Talk about work ethic. We got fucking work ethic.
Right. So, and here's the now. Let's look into real quick what the topic of his podcast. Let's look at their history. Their last big college football coach. Remember who it was?
No, I don't.
Lane Kiffin. He spent a year there, left for USC. All fine, well, and good. He had to pay $1 million to get out of his contract early to go to USC. Really, the University of Tennessee so bad, it is worth $1 million to get the fuck out of there. And this is
the most sports-worthy news is.
This is what you're willing to, and this is what you're.
I will pay $1 million to get the fuck out of here.
Right, and this is what you decide to base your podcast on.
And now to go to California, which is funny because in the world of college sports, California is not even that high up on the list. There's a lot of other better places to go.
I don't like how you're making me do this, but I'm going to because I'm a reasonable gentleman. He took over for Pete Carroll at USC. So it may have been worth it at the time. Anyway, he's got $1 million worth it
to take over for Pete Carroll.
Right. He lost money in his first year. Yeah, so I'll give him that.
That really ties up in. That's good.
What's that?
How did he do down there?
But there was a. Pete Carroll left right before all the sanctions hit. Right. So he had to deal with all the sanction shit and everything like that.
Which he claimed was boosters and not him.
It probably was.
And he said he just went to the NFL because it was a good opportunity.
He left
because at that point everybody wanted to go coach the Seahawks. Right. But let's face it, how good
Matt Flynn was really looking like
how good is Pete Carroll really? Is Pete Carroll really that good, or did they just happen to get lucky and draft Russell Wilson?
Well, and I don't think
Russell Wilson is why Pete Carroll has had a career in the NFL.
Right. I don't think Pete Carroll I don't think he had anything to do with the big USC team. I could be 100% wrong. And
no, he did.
He was he recruited the Bush and the White and the Liner. Okay,
the Liner. Yeah, that was. I mean, that patented Pete Carroll run. You know,
the kind of
what do they call it?
Thunder and Lightning,
and running attack. And Matt Leinart was a good enough quarterback to throw it behind that much of a rush. I'm going to compare that to Lamar Jackson of the NFL. Because I still think when you put him in the pocket without a running game, let's see what he does. But, I think Pete Carroll did a good job putting together whatever he put together, but I don't think that specifically translates to the NFL. And I don't think Pete Carroll's offense translates well. I think Pete Carroll's offense sucks. And every time the Seahawks win in tight games, it's, we're down middle of the third quarter by 2 touchdowns. Let's finally give it to our fucking franchise quarterback, Russell Wilson, and he does it all. Yeah, I think Pete Carroll inhibits Russell Wilson from being a better team. I think the fact that we're both 49er fans, we're very fortunate that Pete Carroll's in Seattle. Right. Because otherwise, I think Russell Wilson torches us every time he plays. I think he's the best fucking quarterback in the NFL.
I've been saying this since the Seahawks hired him. He's a good coach. If he follows the USC model, he's going to build the team up. He's going to lose control of the inmates. He's going to get the fuck out while the getting's good. We're starting to see him losing the control of the inmates.
Now, wait a minute. We saw a couple of years ago the Legion of Boom defense fell apart.
Right.
And he stayed with it, got rid of everyone, traded them all off while they still had trade value or just didn't re-sign them. Once again, I'm going to go back to...
But you still have... seems like the inmates...
Fortunately, he drafted Russell Wilson, who is not the kind of quarterback you have when you have a run-first team because you have the best passer.
But it still seems like the... I'm not even talking about the team. I'm talking about look at the locker room. It seems like the inmates are running the asylum.
Whoa.
And that's kind of what started happening at USC. That's why the boosters got so into it, and he got out while the game was good.
Okay, I follow.
I'm not talking about the team.
You make sense. You're making sense now. I'm on board.
So and I see Seattle going that way.
But let's look at this year going forward, because Seattle this year after free agency and drafts is about the same they always are, which is they didn't really do anything to scare you in the draft, but they still have Russell Wilson, so they could beat you.
Right.
Looking at the 49ers, I think they had a fucking great draft. I think they did well in free agency.
We already went all over this.
Did we really though? Because I want to talk about it again.
Well, let me. We could go. We have. We're going to do more than 12 shows in 2 fucking years. So we have plenty of time to talk about this.
Suck Tennessee football, by the way.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Peyton Manning was the last, T. Martin, was the next one.
Peyton Manning was good.
People took Dan Orlovsky over T. Martin. And then you look at Tennessee basketball, you get Bruce Pearl, who basically cheated his way into the job, and there, with all the heat, another booster thing, left for Auburn, now takes them to the tournament. You've had nothing to talk about for fucking 15 years with that school, and you're going to try to do a podcast about it? So here's what I propose. There's another one, it's called C Squared Elaborates. I'm not too worried about it because their last episode was a 5-minute poetry slam back in October. So I think we're okay. Before that,
I'd like to know what kind of poetry that was.
Well, you can listen to it if you want. I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction. But before that, their last one was September of 2018. So I'm not too worried about them. Year between, and it looks like they're changing a bunch of shit on Google, so they may not even be around anymore. So I'm not too worried about that. But the C Squared Sports, it's only bugging me because they're above us right now, and it could just be because there's more episodes. But you look it up, and you look up C Squared Hour on any of the apps. We're number 1 minus these guys on a couple of them. Or this guy. I don't know how it is.
Whoever the fuck runs that shit.
Right. And so, really, just do yourself a favor. Change your name or quit doing the podcast and delete it. Because...
And that's it. If this character
Or
was
characters.
putting out weekly or bi-weekly podcasts, I think I would be okay with the
That's another thing. We've managed to talk about sports during the fucking quarantine, and he can't.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one was...
We were talking about horse racing when we had to, for Christ's sake.
Well, I mean, that would be happening without a quarantine. That was the same week as the Kentucky Derby. The Preakness was this weekend. I'm a gambler. We'd be talking about quite a bit of horse racing. So...
We don't have to talk about your gambling problems right now, man. It's all right.
So I'm just saying, do me a favor, change your name, or take it down altogether, because as I said, you've had a hard enough time filling up a podcast with Tennessee sports. It's going to be even harder for you with your name not being first on the list. I'm sorry, it's just how it's going to be. I haven't even listened to your show yet. I can tell, since you're only talking about Tennessee sports, we're better. That's where I'm gonna go with that.
I know that any time when you talk about blowing strippers, you're definitely better.
Right, and I mean, Lane Kiffin left Tennessee before the blowing strippers, talk. He had to leave Tennessee to go. And here's what I'm going to leave this little thing on. If chick basketball is your best sport, your school's garbage. I'll say if any chick sport is your best, you're garbage. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care if it's track. I don't care if it's volleyball. If chick sports is your best school, is your school's best program, you're garbage.
Sure.
I mean, why don't you just start a fucking UConn podcast instead? It's the same fucking thing. At least UConn can go back to Kemba Walker within the last 10 years. But fuck you. You are a dog shit sports program. I don't even care.
UConn, that's good.
And I don't even care. University of Idaho has a dog shit sports program, but their best program isn't women's, so they're better than Tennessee. I mean, you lose Pat Summitt in her fucking dyke haircut, and you still think you're a fucking school. Go fuck yourself.
Tell us how you really feel, Square.
I think I just did.
No, I that was great.
Do you have an argument?
Not at all. I'm right in line with you.
Perfect. Yeah. So, anyway, I just want to let you know, proprietor of C Squared Sports Podcast. Since you can't think of anything to do, since OTAs were canceled or whatever the fuck they do in college, just change your name. We're cashing your chips, bud.
Sure.
I'm sorry. It's just we're already better, and we're going to be
room. Better. Make room.
Not even make room. Just you don't want to be
bow down to a nigga that's greater than you.
Yeah, that's well said. So we're coming to the end of this here. Was there anything else you wanted to add? Or?
I did. I wanted to say earlier on, you were carrying on about Einstein and his atrocities in World War
I noticed you were a little busy during my rant. So
I want to let you know that the man in charge of all the chlorine gas that poisoned gentlemen in World War I was Fritz Haber, German scientist. He was a contemporary of Albert Einstein, but not indeed Albert Einstein.
Fair enough, and that's what they tell you because they didn't want to.
How you doing what they told you?
No, they just didn't want to advertise that we brought over a war criminal, so they gave another name to it, and they.
Oh shit! We brought over a lot of war criminals after World War II. We couldn't let them go to the fucking commies.
That's true.
That's
true. All right,
those pinko fuckers. We ain't losing that battle.
I think that's.
Don't you wish we had a little more of that Cold War spirit though in America?
I've still been trying to build it up. You know me. I've been on the fuck Russia thing since about 2006. And I've been trying to build that up.
When we were fighting commies, we loved each other a lot more.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean.
So what if other marginalized groups get laid in a way so that we can bond together? I think it's worth it.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm going to say we, and I'm going to let you decide who we is. It's cool for you.
All I want to say is I don't like to toot my own horn, except for the fact that I do. And I've been on the Russia kick since about 2006. and I've been warning everybody about it, and no one believed me.
Dude, that was 2003, I'm going to say, the first time I heard you going on about that shit with Russia. That was 2003. At least, maybe even sooner.
I just wasn't going to oversell myself. I didn't want to seem like that guy.
Real quick,
I didn't want to Steve Rezazizi myself.
Talk to everyone out there. I love that you're listening. I hope you give us some feedback. Make sure and holla back, girl.
Yeah, this is we're looking at the end of our episode, and I was just going to get to that, but he said it better than I could ever do it. That's another thing we're going to have to open with, by the way.
You like that?
Yeah, we'll keep that.
Hey, I was thinking of that earlier in the week.
That's going to have to be our next approval. That's going to be our next approval.
Some Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, we appreciate everyone who listens.
Love being a real bad girl.
And who will continue to listen even after that. Again, we want to shout out Ryan Forney. We actually found Kokanee Gold, and we're enjoying it right now.
Yeah, it's good beer.
So thank you for the recommendation. If anyone...
It's getting drank.
Yeah, son. If anyone else has any recommendations, hit us up. Twitter, Instagram, comments wherever you listen to our Facebook. We're looking that shit up. Tell your friends, do all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, rate, review, all that other stuff. But going back to it, we do enjoy the craft beer, just on a pale ale or a lighter IPA kind of side.
I'd rather have people's negative comments. I'd rather like to know who was offended or who was upset. I think that makes for better material in the future.
It does. And, I would be happy to pretend to care.
I would too.
Yeah,
I've been pretending my whole fucking life, right. So I'm pretty sure we can pretend pretty fucking good. Yeah. I give a flying fuck what you think about.
Exactly. So, want to thank everybody once again. We do appreciate it. We'll be out with an episode every week going forward, and probably a couple special episodes here and there. We might have a couple golf specials, get done golfing and just jump here.
Yeah, we got a few up our sleeves.
The smack off when it comes around, you'll definitely get the smack off.
Smack off's gonna be epic. I don't know. I don't think we've worked out the logistics of smack off. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what the smack off is, look it up. Mm-hmm. Jim Rome smack off. And then you can just dream about how we're gonna bring that to you.
Right. Yeah. The Smack Off post-game show.
It's already brought to you through Jim Rome
by CBS Sports Radio. So we just keep a lookout. We'll have special episodes. But is there anything else you got to add? I think we did everything. The like, review, subscribe, all that nonsense.
No, yeah.
Give us beer recommendations.
I appreciate you guys fucking listening.
Share our page, all that nonsense. So if that's all we got, I would just like to end this all by telling everybody that I will see you next Tuesday.